From News Channel 8, this is a special presentation.
Welcome to Little Creek, Virginia, home of the Navy's Amphibious Group 2. I'm Dave Lucas, and over the next half hour we're going to take a sea cruise, if you will, a final voyage. Well, Beyond isn't necessarily famous or glamorous, but she typifies the backbone of the now downsized U.S. Navy. Let's go aboard the USS Fairfax County.
Secure respect to a neutral flag requires a naval organized and ready to vindicate it from insult or aggression.
It's one of the most visible reminders that we are able to save of the ship.
Mark Wertheimer is a historical curator for the U.S. Navy.
How many tons of vehicles can you hold down here?
He's on board the USS Fairfax County because shortly this 23-year-old ship is going to be decommissioned.
Must be a pretty full ship when everybody's aboard.
Wertheimer covering the Fairfax County literally from stem to stern, cataloging her historical artifacts before decommissioning.
This is one of those other visible reminders of the ship that the curator retains for reminding everyone of what the Fairfax County did.
By the time she was placed in commission, Vietnam was virtually over.
John Riley is a ship's historian at the Washington Navy Yard.
This is the bow ram. This is the derrick-like arrangement. Landing ramp, instead of being carried inside the hull, inside the bow of the ship, is carried up on deck, forward. When the ship noses into a beach, the ramp slides forward on rollers, and the vehicles come up onto the deck from the tank deck, which takes up most of the inside of the hull, go up over this ramp and down to go ashore.
In Navy parlance, the Fairfax County is an LST, a tank landing ship. She was designed to carry trucks, tanks, and troops. In an amphibious assault, she could be off, and her cargo would then literally drive right onto the beach. But time and a changing mission caught up with the Fairfax County.
We're facing a whole new world picture right now, and the notion of amphibious capability is still as much needed as ever, but I think it may be a different type of amphibious capability. The argument that she's never done anything devastating is the same thing as saying that the Polaris missile system is useless because after all we never nuked anybody with it. She does a job that is sometimes ignored and neglected. For example, I'm not sure how good an idea the general public has of the whole purpose of amphibious ready forces, or just what their mission and function is, and what their role in protecting the nation's security. But she was there, and she had a job to do, and she did it.
Shift your rudder.
I don't care about what we've done. We got 7 minutes to get underway. Let's do it.
All lines.
In all lines.
All stations, bridge, take in all lines. Everything ready back there?
As we proceed up, we're going to be going through some restricted waters up the Potomac. We'll be anchoring off Quantico.
You're looking good there.
Spend the night at Anchorage, get underway nice and early in the morning, and proceed up the rest of the way. So, good on you. Let's keep the ship looking good, and show ourselves off and have a good time up DC over the weekend.
Chief, how about gyro error? Yeah. Okay. We're getting ready for decommissioning, which is scheduled to occur on 30 September. And I think you'll notice that the crew is not at all down about it and is not looking at it as the end of the ship. We're looking at it like we're going to go out in style, and this ship is going to be able to do her mission right to the end. It's not a problem.
Yes, very well.
Raise the anchor. Disengage and raise the anchor.
Make the anchor ready for letting go.
Make the anchor ready for letting go. Folks, fantail bridge.
Perhaps you might measure her effectiveness by the fact that she did not have to fight a war.
Let me know as soon as you get an after lookout back there.
Our ability to conduct the mission every time on time and the attitude of the crew reflects that whole thing. It's good steel and it's good people, all working as one.
What's the exception for the line?
All line handling stations.
All line
are
handling
man
stations.
ready. The anchor crew is man ready.
Thank you very much.
One of those good people on board the Fairfax County is Yeoman Michael Twyman. He's been in the Navy now for 18 years, but he was born and raised in the district.
I guess that's why I've been around so long, because I enjoy it. Like, I've been looking forward to this trip since they brought it up, because I hadn't been home in so long. Because I moved away back in '73, and so I've only been home a few times since then. So it's a good chance to see all my family, people I grew up with. You know, I had channel fever last night. I couldn't even sleep.
The only ones that could is just play it back to the bridge and everything.
Upper Marlboro native Ron Conley knows that LSTs like the Fairfax County have outlived their usefulness.
In my opinion, this ship, I don't think we need these ships anymore. I think they are. How many more, you don't see any evasions anymore.
Probably, that's it. Nothing will really be going on. It'll be anchored out.
Robbie Gregg of Woodbridge is...
Mess deck's masted arm. Supply somebody from Midwest, one of the FSAs. What time do they got to come up here?
Probably about 7:30.
We have our shares of bad times, I guess, just like any family. Just brothers just arguing over simple things, you know. But it's pretty much resolved. Everybody has a pretty good relationship.
Back at it.
Special trip to say goodbye to everybody. Everybody look presentable around.
Well, I'm doing fine. It's starting to hurt a bit. No, just kidding.
And then there's Mike Farina. And while he's not from the area,
New Orleans, Louisiana.
he chose the ship for special reasons.
And I picked Fairfax County because of the history of the place. I love history, especially history, around that time. And I thought that maybe picking this ship would give me a chance to see Mount Vernon.
So are we still holding everything right now? Since my tour here, I've been here for 4 years.
Captains may think they command their vessels.
He all of a sudden wants to change it.
But ask anyone. It's the men and women like Senior Chief Keith Davis who really run these ships.
Anytime anything is done, it's always normally done for the better of the crew. And everybody plays a part in the life of the ship, and everybody puts something into it. Something is given from them personally, and there's hours, time, and all that. And when it comes time to leave a ship, it's hard. And I believe the trip over to Australia, if we do go, and leaving the ship, as long as we leave as a crew and all come back together, I feel that will be easier for me than it would be if I was just to transfer today and go someplace else. Haha, McFadden, how you doing? You won't remember a name. You'll see a guy's face and you'll say Fairfax County, right? And he'll say, yeah. And that's how you refer to an individual, not by name. Names are forgotten, ships are not.
Huge big day.
All those museums up there, I think, are open to the public.
As she steams up the Potomac, the USS Fairfax County is a ship in transition on many levels. You see, this is probably her last official voyage for the U.S. Navy. She's about to be conveyed, if all goes as planned, to the Royal Australian Navy. And her trip from the east coast of the United States to the east coast of Australia will in its be a first.
How far up does it get before we get in pretty close? I understand it's the first time that a ship being transferred to another nation.
Lieutenant Commander Alan McIntosh leads the 9-member Australian Navy crew currently training on board the Fairfax County.
How are we doing on our time?
Our job here is to learn as much as we can about Fairfax County in particular, USS Fairfax County, and to prepare its organisation, etc., for integration into the Royal Australian Navy when we arrive home.
We're giving the ship to a friendly nation for a second life, a continued life. You know, we've proven she's still able, even though she's 23 24 years old, she's still able to conduct her mission. And the Australians intend to do that, so it's not the sad event of the death of a ship, if you will. It's a resurgence in the second life.
Has that got any main engine spare? Oh, the cooperation with the US crew has been second to none. We've had tremendous cooperation at all levels. Anything we've asked for, it's been provided, and more. So highly well. It's always good to be part of the first crew and the initial transfer party, get to look at the ship really for the first time when she's underway and operational under a USN crew. And yes, it just happens to coincide with Fairfax going up to her namesake county.
Moderate strain now. The anchor's at 3 o'clock, moderate strain, sir.
Very well. Okay, I'll put on right full rudder, please.
Right full rudder.
Right full rudder, aye, sir. Come right, stay course 297. Come right, stay course 297, aye, sir. Sir, rudder's right 5, course 297. Combat has this dragging anchor.
And that was Echo Bravo 235. And that Papa one is 280.
The anchor's at 2 o'clock, sir. Bring the gong.
So we're trapped in the middle of it. Look here.
Back on that. We anchored off of Cape Sound as rain squall was coming through. Visibility was rapidly decreasing. It was an intense storm, about 8 miles wide, 24 miles long. Saw it on radar. Immediately stopped, dropped the anchor with 3 shots of chain. Wind came up to about 45 knots, and we're just waiting for it to pass till we proceed on up the channel to Quantico. Give it about 10 minutes, and we'll start heaving around and getting back underway again.
Right standing rudder, stay course 327, aye, sir.
Oh, uh-oh. Ooh, that looks close. Oh, does that look close?
We have got plenty of space.
Plenty of space.
It's plenty of space.
We're gonna go Navy. Go, young boy.
In the Navy, as in most of life, there are show horses and workhorses. The USS Fairfax County is definitely a workhorse, but she's attracted her own fan club.
It's nice. Well, the Navy League's primary purpose is education. And for us to be able to impart to the civilian public what the Navy and its purposes and values are all about, to be able to be incorporated with a ship such as the Fairfax County, it creates such a sense of pride and a real cooperative spirit that we can understand what they're about, and we can understand just what it is that we can do to support them.
We're about to make the turn. You guys ready?
We're going to miss her. We felt a real sense of pride and a real bond, and it's been our ship.
Color guard! Right shoulder! Hoot! Arc dive! Hooch! Up! Up! Since we're transiting Potomac up past Mount Vernon, George Washington's tomb, the color guard, a 12-man color guard, and taps and the national anthem, and a renderance of honor to George Washington's tomb. All naval vessels required to do that. Honor guard, present. Boom.
The Navy's traditional homage to the nation's first commander-in-chief is a stirring ceremony. It also serves as a preview of Fairfax County's decommissioning, now set for September. And as the men stand down from their ceremonial duties, they must now turn their attention to the real business of their final voyage.
Bridger. We're getting ready to get real busy now.
This is Fairfax County, Roger, over.
Conrad Type County, got 2 more pleasure crafts. They're bearing 005.
One slight river obstruction. Man and dog in boat.
Boy, I tell you, what she died on, I don't know, I think she flooded.
Friendly people there. They're waiting to it. I think he's trying to tell somebody something. Don't think we've got many of those bridges at home. Only one I know of, and that's in Adelaide.
Well, you know, it doesn't matter how you're dressed as long as you come to the dance.
That's right. The dance Captain Bauer is referring to is a special one. In fact, it's the whole reason the Fairfax County made her final voyage up the Potomac to show it off.
And we do them from ship or
to
short
the people
to ship.
of Fairfax County.
Well, for us, this is our farewell visit.
That type of stuff.
We want to say goodbye to the people of Fairfax County, our namesake, and give them a chance to see what we're about one last time before we decom.
Anyone is welcome to take pictures on board the ship, including the captain's chair here, and I've got props for you. Okay, here we have reached the single bridge.
We've been This is kind of really the end of an era. Not many ships can come up the Potomac River anymore. Their drafts are too deep, or they're too wide, and I think we're going to be about it after this. After we leave, it's going to be maybe patrol craft coming up here, but none of the big ships anymore.
This is where we drive.
Sir, welcome to Fairfax County.
Thank you very much. We're just down the river. It's nice to see you.
Sir, welcome aboard. Glad you could make it today.
Thank you very much.
And the end of that era is being celebrated. On this rainy summer night, with honored guests from Australia to right here in Fairfax County, as they honor this proud ship and her crew.
Whereas this August, the USS Fairfax County will be transferred to Australia to be decommissioned as a U.S. Navy ship. It will become HMAS Manura. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors, on behalf of all the citizens of the county, do hereby proclaim Saturday, July 2nd, 1994, as USS Fairfax County Day in Fairfax County, with all rights, duties, and prerogatives which accrue thereto, and urge all citizens to join the board in recognizing the many achievements of the officers, crew, past and present, of the USS Fairfax County, and in thanking these individuals for their selfless and valiant service to the United States of America. Thank you very much.
Fairfax County, goodbye to Fairfax County is what this is all about.
We're pleased to have brought the story of her final voyage to you, and as her crew makes ready to sail south and west to Australia, we wish them fair winds and following seas. Carry on, Fairfax County. I'm Dave Lucas. Hello everyone, I'm Dave Lucas, and I hope you'll join us on News Channel 8 for a final voyage. We're going to track the earthbound journey of the USS Fairfax County as she makes a sentimental trip back up the Potomac to her namesake. We're going to tell her story and the story of the men who sail her. It's an interesting tale of Navy in the downsized 90. I hope you'll join me here on News Channel 8 for Final Voyage.
Brought to you by Lockheed. Wednesday night at 7:30 on News Channel 8.
Hello everyone, I'm Dave Lucas, and I hope you'll join us on News Channel 8 for a final voyage. We're going to track the homeward bound journey of the USS Fairfax County as she makes a sentimental trip back up the Potomac to her namesake. We're going to tell her story of the men who sail her. It's an interesting tale of Navy in the downsized 90. I hope you'll join me here on News Channel 8 for Final Voyage.
Brought to you by Lockheed. Wednesday night at 7:30 on News Channel 8.